The lesson.
Oh yeah.
As someone who like has not only done battling and recording and releasing, but you've done it like simultaneously.
Yeah.
How different is writing and performing for a battle compared to writing and performing for your gigs?
Completely different. Almost completely different. You know, the repetition is the only thing that's in both. You know, you got to go over your songs to make sure your set's right. You got to go over your rhymes to make sure your rhyme's right. But the energy is different. You know, it's really like freeing to write a song and freeing to record a song. But it's kind of like planning on meeting the school bully to have a battle. So you're kind of like egging yourself on and hyping yourself up, like to make sure that you're ready and that you're, you know, you're solid. You're not, I'm like having fun. Like I can afford to live in the moment because I'm ready. So I'm joking around. I'm like smiling. I'm not really tripping. I'm just like waiting for my go because it's all about execution at that point. But songwriting and stuff is like, songs make people's days. Songs make people's years. There's songs that I don't remember making that people really still are plugged into because I was just going through whatever I was going through and I was just recording. Like, now that I've got the mixing and I'm sort of like learning that, I have the ability to do some really impactful songs that will stay forever. And I don't think a lot of those ones we'd watch again. You know? I feel like the London one that was sick. I'm really happy about that. Yeah. That was like the first time I looked at something, I was like, oh, that's cool, man, because people who don't watch that shit would be entertained by that and be like, oh, this is cool. Like, it's not too serious, but the skill, you can see the skill level of it.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
So I guess between now and the new album, it's just working for the record.
Yeah.
There's no gigs.
I mean,
no other projects.
I don't have anything booked at the moment, but if shit pops up, you know, I'm doing spot shows here and there. I'm going to be putting out some videos again. Yeah, no tapes. That's the other thing. Like, it's just time, man. Time to do my albums. Time to reach my potential, really, because this album and this music I've been working on is what people kind of see in you when they first see you. They're like, maybe one day he'll do an album that good or an album that emphasizes what he does to the best level. And I don't think I've done that yet. I feel like that's this album. So
yeah, word.
That's the next music. It's just music.
Now, how
I'm
important...
hit the road hard as fuck, though, when it comes out.
Touring. Now, how important to you, and I guess in general, do you think it is to get that, I guess, that radio push, and I guess in particular that Triple J push?
It helps. Definitely helps, because that's how your shows, you'll notice in your shows immediately. Like, feel it. Because you're getting the ear of who knows, like whoever's in the car at 10 a.m. or whoever's at a Sunday session and has a boombox blasting. You're catching so many people on a platform like that. So it definitely helps, for sure.
And have you had some rotation or some spins?
Yeah, on my first album, Coming Home was a song. They ended up putting that in high rotation. So that was the song with Illy, Jimmy Nice, and Joyride. It's just like a fun song. I still love playing that song. But yeah, that went into high rotation. And that was around the time of my album. So that was really, you can feel that support. It definitely helps.
And so when you say high rotation, for like a fan that just doesn't really know the lingo and what that means, I mean, explain to us what...
I think, man, it ended up getting into, it was in the top 10 highest played songs of the week at some point in the year. I got an email about it. I was just like, holy shit, that's a lot of spins. So I think, I'm not sure the number, man. I'd hate to lie to you. So I think it's sort of like maybe 7 a week or over. I'm going to look so uneducated. But you know, you don't really focus on that. Like, you're getting the tweets every time they play it. So you're just like, oh, wicked. Oh, wicked. It's not like, I don't go to the wall and be like, 1. And be like, shit, we on. 2. But it would have been a lot. It was a shitload at the time.
Do you remember the first time that you heard yourself on the radio, particularly on like a commercial platform like that?
No, hang on, yeah. And it was like for Whole Squad, my new song. I've never heard, my antenna was snapped on my car through that whole period that we were getting played on the radio. that song was popping. So I never heard that song on the radio, but it was getting played all the time.
So you were just getting the tweets, but you
I was
never
getting
actually...
the tweets, man, but some kid snapped my antenna, so I had no radio in my car. It's fucked up.
Oh, shit.
They stole my moment from me, man.
Now you'll get another one, man.
Yeah, but I did catch how played the whole squad the day I dropped it on the Triple J hip hop show. So I heard that on the way home in my girlfriend's brother's car. I was like, hey, this shit sounds good in the whip. Like, this sounds good.
Yeah, and it's got a real G-Funk sort of sound and flavor. Why that particular sound and style?
Well, that beat in particular was a song I had 10 years, probably 05, that I never put out when I was first working on my first album. And there was something about not the lyrics or any of that, like that all came later because it was a completely different song. But the beat, I had all of these ideas there. And I remembered just as I was finishing my album, I was like, man, this album is really depressing. Like, I was listening to it and I was like, this is just too much. I need some fun shit back in it because otherwise it's like I've left the room and come back in like all black, just like real sad. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get back to doing sort of like my fun radio rhymes and shit. But yeah, so that beat, I pulled up the file and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna remake this. So I called the horn player, I called a fiddle player, I called guitarists, bass players, all this different stuff, and then and it kind of came together. I even got my sister to sing on the beat at 50%, and then like sped it up so it sounds. That's that little chipmunk sound.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's fun. Music production is really fun. It's just tedious. Like it can take you forever to finish a song.
No, it's dope, man. Because I love that G-Funk sound, but you don't hear it in Australian rap, very often, like the AB original.
Yeah, well, when Trigger got back from LA, when him and Briggs had gone out to LA to do those songs, and he came back and we were like playing each other shit, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm like, we must have had the same thought at the same time in the sense of everything was getting too fast, and like there's this like little slump around 90 where a lot of those G-Funk beats are, or like 92. But then I made sure I had a whole lot of other stuff on there, but. Yeah, it was the first time I felt like I was ahead of the game instead of chasing the ball as a producer, which is real fun.
The lesson. 927. Oh, yeah.